educate ourselves on issues happening in Nigeria's polity at this point in time, so we're not carried away with propaganda, false information, or when I say conspiracy theories. We do this audio visual, exactly. So I would implore you to join us right about now on YouTube. Go onto your iOS or Android device, type VOP 903 FM on YouTube on your search bar, and obviously once you come to the main page, you'll see us definitely streaming. Click on it and join us live. So anywhere you are in the world, you can tell a friend to join us live and be part of the conversation. This evening, we intend to look at issues from a prism of logical comprehension. Once again, welcome to the program. I'm going to start off with this. Last week, when this particular interview went viral, the interview that was held by Al Jazeera, where they featured Daniel Bwala in a recent interview, and we talked about it on the political spotlight on Sunday. I think I got to play almost the entire conversation, not completely because of time. And I remember that I kept my personal opinion to myself because I felt, well, for the president to have appointed this man as his spokesperson on policy affairs and all that, the president knows about his past. So there is nothing to discuss further, okay? There is no how anybody wants to defend anything. The reality of the situation is that Nigerians are not happy. There is no how you want to paint the scenario. If Nigerians are not feeling the impact of governance, you cannot tell them otherwise on the kind of reality that they're experiencing. You can't paint it. You can't brush over it. Things are hard. So when you try to tell people that, no, it's not hard. Oh no, your hardship is not in that context. I don't know how anybody wants to redefine people's realities for them just because you want to be appealing to a political party or a particular individual. However, I felt like, okay, it was quite a long time that, he had this interview. So it's understandable that he may not remember a lot of things that he had said against President Bwala Ahmed Tinubu. I also recall that in one of the television stations mostly watched here, when he eventually got that appointment, he was invited and they asked, you said a lot of things, nobody expected you to work for this government, and he appropriately responded at the time. So we're wondering why he could not appropriately respond. But Daniel Bwala is coming out now to say that the interview was doctored. So Daddy Freeze called him yesterday, and they had a live interview on Facebook or his YouTube channel, yes. And Daddy Free said, okay, tell us precisely what happened during the interview. And it's actually funny because Nigerians speculated that Daniel Bwala would deny, or that he would say it is AI, or they would even infuse Peter Obi into the conversation. And trust me, he actually did what Nigerians speculated. But hey, let's take a listen to him first before we discuss that further.
The audio upload, and that the network time for the airing, I think, is about 1 hour. So they don't usually air the full interview on the network, but that the full interview is always made available on YouTube online. Unfortunately, in our interview, it was not aired as was promised, and their excuse was that trending matters around Israel, Iran, and the US affected the airing. However, they went ahead and uploaded on YouTube, but I realized that they uploaded about 49 minutes of the interview. The interview was actually 1 hour, 19 minutes or thereabout. They edited out close to 20 minutes, and it is very important that the world asks them to publish the full video so they can see, including and why those things were edited out. That's the first one. The second one is, usually I've been in this media game for over 20 years, 23 or more. with the advent of technology, after interview, usually TV houses, they upload for the public on YouTube or any other platform for the viewership of the people. I have never come across any interview that was conducted after which the TV house or individual or host will go back, take the interview, doctor it, import extraneous video that were never part of that interview, and publish it and tell the world that that is what happened. So this is what I mean by that. I have seen a lot of commentaries in the social media saying that in the interview, I was asked a question, I denied, and that Mehdi Hassan played my previous comment, and I kept denying and denying and denying. Unfortunately, that was not what transpired. Questions were asked and answered. Those ones that I denied after the interview ended. Al Jazeera went and did a fresh production of 8-minute version of what they wanted to push. And in that fresh production, they now went back to research my previous comments. And what they did was they did cut and join. Where in the interview, I was asked a question, I answered. Since in that same interview, they did not play the past. So what they did now that the interview is over, they went and researched my past comment, picked it, and put it on that particular question and answer. And if you watch the 8-minute clip, it was like that on and on. I have asked a lot of media experts whether it is ethical or that's how media houses do. And this is what I'm told. When interview is conducted, even though they have editorial control, but what they are not allowed is to ambush the person. Any question that was asked and answered, they publish exactly as it is. And if they wish to do a separate production where they will now import things that were never part of the interview, that they will send that to the guest, that this is what we are now adding to our interview to prove that you said this and that. What is your reaction? So that together, they will give it to the world. In my case, they never told me. And what they did was that they published this skewed, fresh production first on their platform without even telling the world that this is an edited version that we produced his previous comment and added to it for better viewership. No, they didn't say that. They said this is an episode of that interview, and for full in the interview, follow the link. Meaning, they portray to the public that in that interview I was asked, and when I answered, it was not favorable. They played my previous comment regarding the question that they asked on ethical and illegal. That is what all the media people that I asked, they told me. Unfortunately, I don't know why Al Jazeera did that. And secondly, I also demand that they publish the entire interview, because in the spirit of fairness and for people to form their opinion proper, they need to publish the full interview. That 49 minutes was not the full interview. But in fact, what people are forming the opinion on is not even the 49 minutes. They are forming the opinion on the widely circulated 8 minutes or thereabout of the clips, and they're broken down into 2-3 to push an agenda. Whatever is the reason Al Jazeera decided to do that, honestly, I don't know. Because I checked through their history and record, they have never done that to any guest in the past 14 years. Only in my own case. There is a difference between a teaser and a fresh production. A teaser is a product of the interview itself. This, what they are publishing, what they published that went round, is not only the product of the interview, but it involves the importation of extraneous videos that were never part of the interview. And I see a lot of people, when they're giving the interview, they've been forming that opinion on the basis of that. And I now said, as you are stating that, there are many other issues that they will come up with time, because I don't believe it should come out and litigate. But at least the viewing public should know that what is being portrayed, that is not exactly what happened. One more thing. They said I was asked, and I was denying that I said some things against my principal, President Bwala Tinubu. When the full production is released, you would see that for more than 8 to 15 minutes, wherein I was asked about the things I said about the president, I acknowledged those words. In fact, on one occasion, I even asked Mehdi, I said, this thing you said, when did I say it? He said, so, period. Where was I then? He said, in the opposition. I asked him, what is the job of the opposition? Mm-hmm. He said, to oppose. I said, thank you for answering that. I went on and on and on and on.
All right. Remember that. Okay, so some of you said that you were not hearing me when we started off the program. So let me restart, or rather, let me go back and refresh what I said in terms of my introduction. Now, I said on Sunday during the political spotlight, I played the interview Daniel Bwala had with Mehdi Hassan of Al Jazeera head to head, although not the entire interview. I refrained from giving any personal opinion to it because I surmised everything to politics. And then Bwala actually buttressed what I concluded on when he released a press statement via his X account, acknowledging that everything is politics and that his principal is aware of all of the things he has said in the past to mutilate President Tinubu, who was his opposition at the time, and that the president is a forgiving person, so the president is already aware of this. In other words, we shouldn't take Panadol on his head. Like, the president knew, so it's not a big deal. So I didn't say anything, because if your principal is not offended, if the APC or your principal is not embarrassed because they're aware of your past, then there is no point to actually talk about it. But as it's a job, it was a trending story on the political scene that I had to, present on the platform that Sunday. Now, yesterday, Daniel Bwala decided to supposedly clear the air. And in his explanation with Daddy Freeze, who gave him the platform, Daddy Freeze asked him, okay, tell us, if you're saying that there was a lot of misrepresentation or a lot of things were taken out of context, okay, tell us what actually happened. And then Daniel Bwala said that the interview was doctored. Now, please, I'll implore you, if you have your phone or if you have a hard copy of your Oxford Dictionary or Cambridge Dictionary, to check for the meaning of the word doctored. When you say something is doctored, it means something was deliberately altered. It means something was presented to be absolutely false to suit a certain narrative. And we saw that interview. It wasn't false. Now, a lot of persons said that even Mehdi Hassan did not even do much. It was the response of Daniel Bwala that possibly made Mehdi Hassan see the vulnerability and then possibly prodded further. And to make it worse, Daniel Bwala was having amnesia or even outrightly denying that he never said so. Now, his grouse in that interview is that there was a few seconds clip, the fact check clip that was done by Al Jazeera. He's saying that it was unprofessional for Al Jazeera to have done that he has seen all the previous interviews they have had, they have never done that. The fact check clip is where Daniel Bwala said he never disclosed that the president had a militia, and obviously they did a video where Daniel Bwala was saying that. They also did another fact check where he said he did not even eat for 3 days, and he denied and said he never said a statement. And obviously they brought the video where he made that statement on one of the television stations that he could not eat. That fact check clip was about a few seconds. Daniel Bwala said that they misrepresented him, that they were not supposed to do that he understands teasers, but that was not a teaser, that was a means to mock him or to embarrass him, and he feels that it is wrong for them to have done so. And he was asked, what next do you want to do? He says, well, he expects them to release the entire clip. Now, he made a statement in this video where he said that he asked Mehdi that when did he make that statement. He said in 2023, and he asked Mehdi, who was he then? He said he was in the opposition. So Mehdi, I remember Mehdi asking him the question, so because you're in the opposition, then you make false statements? Because you're in the opposition, you make false utterances? And then he said no, he never made any false utterances. And that was when Mehdi began to fire on with a lot of, in fact, it got to a point Mehdi was exasperated because he was throwing at Daniel Bwala his exact words, and Daniel was denying. So Mehdi would be like, in so 2022, in so 2023, this is what you said. I wouldn't lie to you. I felt it was appalling for him to have come on another platform to make it seem as if what he said was not true, or maybe he's looking for another interview with them to say things as he expects to say it, or maybe he was thinking it was the Nigerian media who would not puncture and probe like they usually do. But whichever way, my analyst today will be telling us precisely, was it necessary for Bwala to come and do what you call a misclarification? Because there was no clarification. It was another embarrassment. Now, to make things worse, Daddy Freeze asked about, I think, the opposition, whom he thinks in the opposition was supposedly has what it takes, to lead this country in terms of policies. And that was a very good diversion, because he went on and on about Peter Obi, saying that Peter Obi, through Obasanjo, wanted Bwala to, that is, he wanted Bwala to work for him, to run a PR for him, went on and on and on. Even when they asked him about Atiku, he spoke very, just a few words, came back again to Peter Obi as usual. And then Nigerians already speculated that this is exactly what Bwala would do, and he did not disappoint. That was what he did. So the big question is, was it necessary? I have Mr. Elvis Elimihele right here in the studio. He's also a media practitioner. He's been in this industry for 30 years or possibly more than that. He will tell us precisely, if maybe I spoke out of context, or if there was any necessary thing for Bwala to have done beyond keeping quiet, allow everything go, because he represented his principle. Everything he supposedly said in the past, he meant it. If his principle has forgiven him, why is it a bother to him when he said it is all politics? Your principle knew about the words you had made in the past against him, so why are you bothered? And you surmised everything to politics. In other words, you shouldn't feel embarrassed, isn't it? We're also going to look at a situation where the ambassadors, the newly ambassadors that have been given their various portfolios, well, India rejected them, and a couple of other countries as well rejected these ambassadors because of a policy. And the policy is, if your tenure is about to expire, obviously they have to look into it. Now the big question is, the foreign minister, Yusuf Toga, did he not know about this before they gave the portfolio and asked them to go to these countries to represent themselves? Any professional who understands what they call international diplomacy, and this country's policies, you're supposed to know their policies. It's the responsibility of international relationship experts within the cabinet of the president to advise the president, or advise the president's staff, or whoever it is that is responsible for making sure these persons put their portfolio together and go to their place of appointment to say, hey, how about we wait until after 2027? Some of these countries will not accept these ambassadors. So it speaks a huge volume about the professionalism or the competence of some of these persons within the cabinet of the presidency to not properly advise well. Mr. Elvis Elimihele, good evening and thank you for joining us today.
Good evening, Esther. How is your day?
I'm fine. Mr. Lawal Ekundaya, good evening. It's a pleasure to have you today.
Good evening.
All right. So let's start off with the amebo. According to some people already talking on social media that we are doing amiable. I want to start off with you. Was there any need for Bwala to have come back again to say what he said, that it was doctored? And please, what's the definition of the word doctored?
Doctored. It's even going too far to use the word doctored. It's like taking it out of context, like he used to tell them.
That's what he said, that they misrepresented him.
Word that they are infusing in things that he never said. That's what it is. But if you look at that interview was a straight interview. It was the questions Hassan asked that he was denying. He would have saved himself of all this embarrassment if at the beginning of that interview he would have made himself known to Hassan that where I'm coming from, and you know where I am at the moment. So my past will not be used to judge me in this my present job. Because I was doing the job of the opposition then. He should have introduced himself properly. What he is doing now, this damage control is doing now, he's only just trying to escalate this thing and beginning to drag his name better.
It's like using petrol to
point fire.
Yes, to point fire. It's like using petrol.
He's just trying to drag his name now more, because I don't see any reason for all this. The short videos, those teasers videos that came from Al Jazeera, they are there in YouTube. Even if you go there today, you will still see them. When he was in opposition, talking about President Tinubu, when he was talking about
he even said more. He says that the human brain works 24 hours, 360 days. But when you join the APC,
your brain shuts down. I have that in my hand.
He even said if you give Tinubu 30 years, he will never get it right.
Get it right.
He said a lot of things.
He even told Nigerians that they are even planning he has a militia.
Exactly.
And that the militia is even after his life.
Do you hear what the APC chieftain said on one of the television interviews, News Central? The APC chieftain said that when Daniel Bwala was drinking tea and eating bread in Atiku's house, when they were strategizing on some of the things that they could say to discountenance the opposition then, which was Tinubu and the APC, that he talked about this militia thing, and they were like, let's not say stuff that is not accurate and all of that. And they thought they had cancelled that part. That all for Daniel Bwala to come on national TV to make that statement that, there was a militia.
Yeah, probably the tea and the bread he ate was still very sweet in his memory, so he has to speak beyond.
The energy is here now. You are in the opposition.
Yeah, you see, the problem is.
So if you're in opposition, we know that the job of opposition is to oppose, right? But not to say things that are outrightly lies, or if you don't have any evidence to back up what you're saying. I would understand the opposition now using what Daniel Bwala said to possibly ridicule this government or ridicule Tinubu, because I know if it was APC, if it was a Peter Obi or Atiku that went on stage like this, or any of their spokesperson to goof, trust me, even they would use it. They would strip them off. I'm even surprised the opposition is not taking advantage of this.
One thing is this: the question is, did he lie? Did Daniel Bwala did he lie about what he said?
I don't understand.
Did
he lie?
Yeah, he didn't lie. Now, what he said then was true.
You believe that?
No, yes, because what he said, yes. But one thing is this: now that you have left the opposition, you are now into the table where the cakes are being shared, and people are now fingering you. You now begin to deny and begin to begin to fight over. You said it now, and for you to say it, you must have evidences. Now you are now eating your words. That is the you are now trying to. Do you know the meaning of doctored? Doctored means forgery. Do you know that Al Jazeera can sue him for that?
I don't know.
They can actually sue him because that means he's calling them fraud.
Yes, now that they projected the interview in a false light, that they had an agenda. Even some
he doesn't even understand that meaning of doctor. He doesn't understand it.
Some Nigerians were even saying that if it were possible to make it seem as if what Mehdi said or how Mehdi did what he did, to say that it is the opposition that did it, that Daniel may have actually said that that's what it is. And I will not lie to you, from his responses on this interview with Daddy Freeze, he exactly fell into the speculation that the opposition or what Nigerians were saying about his person. But let me ask you this, to be honest, I didn't want to talk about it. I thought for a professional, people make mistakes. All right, him supporting the president is not a big deal. Him eating his words, some people don't mind lacking integrity. Some people don't mind lacking honor. To be honest, yeah, some people don't mind. And the Nigerian politics is like that. It used to have a sense of integrity and honor, but the politics these days, nobody cares. It's all about their stomach. It's all about money. They don't even care if Nigerians are dying or wasting away. It's none of their business. You can see the apathy towards how they attend to the needs of Nigerians. But in the past, even if it was like that, they don't put it in your face. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Yeah. But this time around, they put it in your face and they tell you there is nothing you can do. So, Mr. Elvis, from your perspective as a professional, I mean, was there any need for Daniel Bwala to have come to do this misclarification?
Absolutely not. There was no need for this. He's just using this to escalate the situation and even dragging his name more in the mud. You see, the damage control he's doing now is not welcomed. This interview has gone too far that there is nothing he does now that will now reverse what everybody watched that is still on YouTube. The questions Hassan was asking him are direct questions. What he would have simply, just made Hassan understand that, those questions are when I was in the opposition and this is my standing. I never actually know much about the workings of the government then. But he sat and he was saying, out of context, it's a lie. Yeah, it's not so. What are you denying in things that the video evidences are there, the dates are there, and the medium in which you made all these statements, he quotes them. The date, the medium, and the evidences of the video, and even the clips from the newspaper that he started quoting for him. So what is he doing now? It's already too belated. One would have expected that even his colleagues, in that are managing the president's PRO should have even told him, don't go further in this matter, because even as you are dragging it now, you are dragging the government of President Ahmed Bwala Tinubu more in the mud, because you are a spokesperson for the president. You see, There was a time when Lalo Akonde was the
Yes.
spokesperson to the former vice president, Osibajo. He made some statements, and the vice president said, "No, I didn't say that." He came back and recanted it and said, "No, my principal, let me put it straight. This is what my principal said." At every time you carry the toga of a spokesperson for the person, remember you are not speaking what you are supposed to say as your own opinion. You are speaking for the mind of the person whom you are representing.
Did Al Jazeera misproject him? Was he accused of anything? We watched that interview.
There was no
the addition. In fact, I'm even hearing now that even the clips where they provided evidence, it was our Nigerian bloggers that even went to do their own research in providing evidence of the things he had said in the past. So this man kept reading out the statements he had made in the past and asking him, if you made all the statements before, why are you now trying to say something else? And he was meant to have responded by saying, I was in the opposition. I regretted some of those words I made because I didn't know the person of the president.
Yes.
I got to understand him better after he won the election.
Started working with him.
In fact, he said that the whole thing was, remember that they were asking the Bwala question. He was in London when we were beginning to get some idea that he may join APC.
Yes.
When he started making some statements in preference to the government of the day, that on social media people were like, Daniel, again, what's going on? Your tone don't they change?
It's changing, yeah.
So he says no, he has not joined any APC, or he's still with Atiku Abubakar, he's still with PDP. And then the next thing we saw that he had joined the APC. And he needed to clear himself by going to several media houses, granting interviews. I remember Rufai asking him questions like, what are you doing here? Why are you in this government? With all the things he had said. So it's normal that you said a lot of things and you can't remember. You say, I cannot remember a lot of things I said. I may have said them, but now I understand the person I work better with, and all those things I said happen not to be true. Simple. Now, can we come back to the base of the conversation? You called me here to talk about security, economy, and corruption. And then you begin to reel out all of those things. But instead, you were using a glass of water to contextualize your opinion or perception or reaction to what the journalist was asking you. And you're complaining that the conversation or the mode of interview was combative. You know Mehdi Hassan does a combative interview. No, he had an interview with Piers Morgan Uncensored. It got to a point he was invited as a guest to respond in that interview. He was a guest to speak on America. He doesn't like Trump. He's an anti-Trump person. Mehdi Hassan doesn't like Trump. And it got to a point that, what's his name? Piers Morgan said, I invited you here. Do not take over my interview.
Yeah.
So you know the kind of person he is. If they invited you, you could have stayed away.
No, it was his right to say no. I will not honor.
Do you understand?
No, you are not speaking for yourself.
So what is all this doctorate degree thing you're talking about here?
It's coming too late, and it's just escalating the matter.
You know this
shameless.
That's why I said some things he said were true to me, because when he said that you're being shut down when you join APC, I now realize it is true. This thing they ask him, they do it to Trump every now and then. You see, they will say Trump lied. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
On media, lied. They say he lied. You lied. You will begin to, it's a normal thing.
Mr. Elvis, is there anything wrong if you were in the opposition and decided to join the current government?
No,
is there anything wrong?
There's nothing wrong.
Very good.
It depends on how you carry yourself. He made mention of
the fact that in Trump's government now, most of the people in Trump's cabinet were against him. It's politics. That was why I said I didn't say anything on Sunday. I didn't, make any derogatory statement, because at the end of the day, it's politics. And he said the president already knew about it, and nothing would happen. So what was the need for this?
And even after the interview, his principal did not reprimand him before the public.
He made a statement on X. In fact, his statement was like, "You guys, I beg, stop making noise." My principal already knows all of this.
He knows all this, and I'm still in good. I'm still in good terms with him.
Just let it. Just talk about normal thing. Just move ahead.
You should allow the sleeping dogs.
And then you went back and keep going back and going. You doesn't even think about it, because each time you respond, people analyze it.
It's not just analyzing it; it's become so ridiculous.
It's becoming very embarrassing.
Quiet about it. Go forward. Talk about new things.
All right, Mr. Elvis, India and other countries reportedly hesitate to accept some ambassadors nominated by President Bwala Tinubu due to concerns about the limited time left in his current administration. So a number of nations appear to have rejected several ambassadors recently named by President Tinubu, driven by worries about how little time is left in his current tenure. According to reports, this refusal is tied to a policy some countries follow, which generally discourages accepting ambassadors from governments with fewer than 2 years left left in their term. Now, reports emanating from the presidency confirmed that India has indeed signaled hesitation regarding the approval of Nigeria's envoy to be in New Delhi, Ambassador Muhammad Dahiru. Under the usual rules of international diplomacy, the host country must grant formal agreement before an ambassador can actually start their duties. So a senior official from the Nigerian presidency explained the situation, that they won't accept an ambassador from an administration that has less than 2 years still in office. The official went on to say that multiple countries are already signaling they might refuse some of the nominees. However, this isn't because of any issues with the individuals themselves, but rather because of the limited time they would likely be able to serve. The high probability of these designated ambassadors being replaced by a new government is further believed to be the reason behind the refusal of some countries to accept them. So, Mr. Elvis, let me start off with this. Why did the president take time in delegating, nominating ambassadors? That's one. Two, who are the advisors to the government or to the presidency on international relations or international diplomacy, knowing that this is basically how it works? Some countries have this policy. Three, what is the role of the foreign minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs? That is Foreign Affairs. Yusuf Toga. If he is a professional, is he not supposed to know this and say, okay, we are ready, but because of some policies, we may not? First of all, before sending these designates to their destination, you would speak and ask, can they resume? If they say no, you'd announce the Nigerian government that we may not have representatives here until 2027. Also, do you think the government is confident that they're coming back in 2027, so they expect that those countries should accept them, even if they're coming late? What's your take on this question?
Esther, let me start with the minister. The minister didn't do his job. He's so senior career diplomat that knows that would have been able to advise the government he's serving on the policies of so many of these governments all over the world. But because of the way we play pranks here and the way we take everything, leisurely, we are not serious. We serious with things. We believe that we can manipulate other parts of the world. This way we manipulate our system here. Probably that was out of overzealousness, but he goofed in his job because he cannot tell the world that he doesn't know the policy of countries where he's Minister for External Affairs and he's a career diplomat all his life.
What if he doesn't know?
No. These are sped up policies. These policies did not just come today. It's not that we played into it. We've not had it this way before now. It's a policy that have been in existence. And there are also even permanent secretaries in that ministry who, even as your name is mentioned, and say, okay, let's do a background check on you. If you are a career diplomat, even if you are going to be part of this list that is going to be sent to the president. One, the countries that the people are going to, they don't just send persons to countries. They look at whom you are, what you are made of, and whether you'll be able to fit into the policy of that country. All these ones are supposed to be done by the minister, and all apart from even the minister, the president also has special advisors who also do all these things for him as far as international relations is concerned. Where is the job of all these ones? They never did their job. They brought that embarrassment. Then again, you come to talk of whether they think President Tinubu will continue in 2027, whether they don't think about that. Well, Esther, do you see, why is it that APC always have this slow attempt to appointing public officers? We saw Buhari took 15 months, almost 15 months to get ministers when he came into power. The same thing now came when President Tinubu came in and ambassadorial list became an issue. Who is so new in that ambassadorial list that Nigeria never knew? Who is that special person that the president was like, I'm digging for the best? There's no new persons there that we never knew the antecedent. Apart from the few career diplomat, which understandably money and drama from the ministry, which even the permanent secretaries and the minister would have known whom they are in the diplomatic world. The other politicians that the president, fly their names are people we already know. So why the delay? One would have asked that question. But that's like one of the characteristics of APC.
Because I felt like before
the impunity, we think that we can all override here. It doesn't work like that in the other part of the world.
The first 6 months of Tinubu's administration was enough for them to start compiling those who they consider to represent
because these are people who believe that they have worked for the government and they need to be also grease their palm. So what's so special about it? The ministry give us career diploma because we are changing ambassadors. It's just like you are talking of a board of parastatals. You know too well that because the other party has left or I want to change the board of parastatals. What does it take to change all this? These are things that the party itself knows people who are work for them and say, okay, this person must be part of this board, or this person we are going to reward this person, with ambassadorial position. Do you also know some recalcitrant among your political party and say, come, we have to post this person out because if he remains, he will cause trouble for our party. Some of these people benefit from ambassadorial lists like that. They say, this is a recalcitrant, he can't remain with us in this nation. He might throw spanner in the wheel of our progress. Let's push him out because by the time he comes back, his structure is already destroyed that he will use to foment trouble because he's no longer in Nigeria. These are some of the things they put into consideration when they are picking some of these external positions. Those that will take you out of the country.
Mr. Elvis, I want to say something. There are questions I want to ask. Is it that the president doesn't take advice, or maybe that some people are pulling the shots in this government? Because that's the way it is. This is not the knowledge of the president. This is not the first time, second time things like this are happening, in which by the time the president approve it, we start seeing a lot of errors in which they have to take it back and then begin to refine-tune it again. It's like maybe the president doesn't take advice.
No, okay.
Or maybe some people are really controlling the president. No, this is the time we want you to do this. But that's the way I see it.
If the error is that the president doesn't take advice, it's a different ball game. But if the error is made by the people that the presidents appointed, who are supposed to,
maybe they told him he doesn't
him better,
bother to
tell him better.
Okay, can you remember when
they're supposed to be deterrent?
Can you remember when there was an information? I read it here on this platform where they said there are cabals in Tinubu's government. There is the Sheyi Tinubu cabal. There is the Gbajabiamila cabal. That's the president's chief of staff. There is the first lady, Remi Tinubu, Pastor Remi Tinubu cabal. And then there is Bayo Onanuga cabal. These persons have their own people. So it's like when it comes to, and can you remember when George Akume was complaining that certain persons were forging, altering his voice and promising certain people appointments, that people will come and with money or whatever, say George Akume should give them, slot in their names or whatever, that George Akume had to come in to say, I am not the person saying all those things, it's not me. So is it possible that these different cabals are the ones that brings in their own persons, they live through and present it to whoever it is that compiles? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Even if the cabal bring the list, Esther, the list does not take out the office of the president. It also still land on the president's desk. And the president have all the advisors. And the president, how many names are in that list that the president cannot sit with advisors and say, let me know the persons that are here, even if I'm not making an impute, the cabal, because even the cabal, the political party, the political party chairman also has his own cabal, because the party also have to bring in their people, because this is like sharing. You even heard what the chairman has said, that by 2027, anybody that is not in APC will not benefit from any APC appointment. Yeah, Water has already said that now. That one is standing. So when these lists are brought, the onus lies that the presidency office we have to harmonize and say, is this person right to go to for this list? Is this what you actually want this person for? Because there are some names that are not, the president is not even in that appointment for. And say, this is where I want to put this person. Unfortunately, the name will be somewhere. You have also seen that there are sometimes we even see dead persons in the list.
Yes.
Because
they didn't do proper screening.
Because there's no screening. So that now lies. Who are the president's secretaries? Who are the people working with the president? The president still has a kitchen cabinet. Apart from all these advisors and all these ministers that we see, people work with him. This is supposed to be something that they sit with the president and scrutinize and say, no, I don't need this. He can call on the party chairman. Why are you bringing these kind of persons? I don't need this. Minister, why are you bringing this? Even this list are drawn up by state governors. State governors draw some of these lists and say, oh, from my state, president, this is the person I'm recommending to be an ambassador. Oh, from my state, president, this is the person I want to be a minister representing my state. You say, give reasons. Give me reason. Why do you think? If the person is a strong point, he was able to work for us assiduously to get to where we are today. Oh, this person is a career person, and I know he will able to, put his experience at play in this ministry. All these are the things that are supposed to be like personal one-on-one interview. Because if you are making recommendation, you'll be able to clear the person that you are making recommendation for. Who are people doing all this? I mean, I must tell you that this embarrassment from this rejection of all these ambassadors came first of all from the Minister of External Affairs. The minister did not.
Foreign Affairs.
I mean, yes, it's External Affairs or Foreign Affairs. Didn't do his job diligently. We saw ministers in that position. Somebody like Professor Bwala when they were there under the IBB's government. We saw Major General Ike Wanchuku when they were there. These are people who had high esteem that ministry, because they know whether immediately you speak outside Nigeria, you are speaking the mind of the government you are representing, because the government is not there. Whatever you say, the government stays by it. Okay, now a sitting senator has now been moved to go and be a permanent representative of Nigeria in the permanent UN. Jimo Ibrahim. How these people career diploma that you are supposed as sensitive as that place. Remember the woman that the former government of Goodluck Jonathan put in there, Ambassador Joy Ugu, very polished career woman.
Okay, but my question is, if the president at the time wasn't ready with his ambassadors designates, why did he recall over 100 ambassadors, earlier when he started off in
That is the big question.
Because if you're not ready, we understand that those Nigerian representatives, they are not your people. We understand. So you get your own people ready, do your screening, recall those ones, and then send your own. But you now recalled almost 100 of them, and you left no Nigerian representative in all of these embassies.
Comatose.
If you want to get your visa, in fact, in the UK, there were complaints about it, especially for Nigerians who want to renew their visa. In South Africa, because there was no ambassador there, their bills were piling in the embassy that there was no one they could reach out to. You're not paying your bills. They had to come on Twitter to tweet about it and say, Nigerian government, we've taken off electricity in South Africa. So that was when they now reached out to them and paid, and they restored electricity. Yes. So why did you recall those ambassadors if you weren't ready?
It's policy somersault, Esther.
Kai.
Yes, because we have seen that APC government has always been good at that. They bring in things and use it now. They
take action and leave the vacancy. They use a vacuum like that subsidy gone.
They take action before they now realize. They realize the implication of the action they take,
and then we now start looking for fire brigade approval. What are we going to do about it?
When the president said in May 29, 2023, subsidy is gone, he has not even gotten into the presidential office to actually know what is on ground. What would have told the president is, okay, after 6 months, I'm going to remove the subsidy. I'll manage it with Nigeria.
His supporters said if the president had not said it that day, by the time he enters the office, those people that benefit from it may have tried to convince him from announcing fuel subsidies.
Why didn't he announce?
Because it was not on his script.
Excuse me. Why didn't he announce refinery? Our refinery will start work immediately. You could have announced that now, so that those who are preventing the refinery from working, will not have been able to do anything.
Nobody is preventing.
Because I don't understand.
Refinery is moribund, redundant.
The president, when he was campaigning, what did he tell Nigeria? He said, "I know the problem of this nation, and I know how to fix it." One, if the president knows the problem of this nation, one would have expected that if I am coming here and to come and take up an appointment, I'll drop my own.
In fact, I've already have my own plan.
I have my own outline. Yes. So when I get in there, I say, yes, I'm going to remove subsidy. No matter whose source is gone, I'm going to remove it. No matter the lobby that will come when I get to the office. Even at that his speech at the Eagle Square, it was, I'm going to remove subsidy because it's part of my campaign. But we are going to design a platform that we are going to use, templates that we are going to use, so that the effect will not be so much stringent on Nigerians.
The template was to provide palliative, where we saw them sharing pasta.
No. Those are not templates.
Pasta and rice.
The template would have been that this CNG would have been that kits. Within 3 months, kits will arrive in Nigeria.
So now the CNG kits are now available. They are saying that should be an alternative
of Iran and America war now, because petrol are just close to 1,000 something. The kits are available now. Why are the fire brigade approach? I keep telling you, Esther. Why are they coming after the?
Why can't the president say in that May 29 that I know that there's a lot of corruption in this subsidy?
He said so.
No, that the first thing I'm going to do for the next 3 months, we are going to do a thorough probing of this thing, and we are going to put everybody involved in. I mean, we are going to bring them to book. we are going to face justice. That's what we expect, not subsidy gone.
Subsidy, but we didn't see anybody that was.
Nobody was prosecuted. Nobody, nothing investigation. Nothing.
Why don't you like prosecuting?
That's even where we should have been talking that.
Because I actually expected him to prosecute.
Yes, that's where you would have been telling me that the cabal succeeded because they were not prosecuted.
Yes,
so the removal of the subsidy was just to punish us, but the cabal gained more because even after they embezzled the subsidy, they were also not prosecuted. So where is Nigeria inside it? The punishment of it, the suffering of it was what was pushed to us.
And up till now, that area is gone. It's gone. Nobody to they are not even talking about it. You talk about trillions not being lost in that area. Not even you knew about it, and then they let go.
Not even now that they are preparing for 2027 election. Nobody is probing now because even those people that were supposed to be probed are part of those that are going to donate to the coffers now and say
they begin to donate.
Yes, because it's what they got from it. Yes, they got from the subsidy that they acquired all over the years. You know, people are going to be, coming out with different volunteer now. Yes. The whole jet that is going to be used throughout the president is going to, there are so many.
Somebody will even volunteer to pay the nomination form.
So yes, I've even seen some states. Kogi state people have already. I think there is a youth in Kogi have saw the 100 million. They approved 100 million down for president to pick the nomination form. I see the president told them that he does not have money. Then these souvenirs, campaign materials. People don't know those things, Esther. You may just say president is visiting Imo State. You just see everybody in the stadium is wearing APC shirt and Tinubu share a poster in it. People printed it. I mean, that printing is not from Abuja.
So are we saying now that the persons that are in the president's cabinet are incompetent?
100%. Have they not shown it over the years? When we start seeing dead people in lists.
So why do you have incompetent people around you and you expect your policies on paper to be reflective in real life?
That's why it's not reflecting, because the president is only allowing them to hang on because of politics. They are
talking about
more of political reasons
than
doing the bidding of the nation. They are there more for their political reasons, because the president knows that these are the people that will be able to work with him to get him back to the office. That's why he's keeping them. There's no that thing. Because those people are not there because they want to move the nation forward or they want to cushion your suffering, Esther. They are not there because of people. They are interested in the number of land that are counting about 32 states now. Those are the things they are happy with.
That's their celebration. That's their achievement.
So it's not about whether the people in those 32 states are actually sleeping with their two eyes closed or they have something to feed their family with. That's not their cup of tea.
All right, let's take a listen to Sowore, and then from there we'll pick up the conversation.
You got the certificate from? He can't. There's nobody who knows where Tinubu graduated from. Only Tinubu himself knows the university he graduated from, the university he went to secondary school at, the university the primary school he went to. So it's natural that certificate forgery will no longer be a crime. It's going to get to a point where everything you think is a crime will no longer be a crime in this country, including drug peddling. They will soon tell you that it's not a crime to carry cocaine and distribute heroin. That anybody that's doing it is doing legitimate business. So that is why I'm not surprised to hear that certificate forgery, because most of the people in leadership in Nigeria forge their certificates. That's the truth. Tinubu, nobody knows where his certificate came from. Wike has 2 birthdays as a person. Nobody can tell you that this is how Wike actually, when the year he graduated from law school. Everybody's just saying that Wike is a lawyer. And you cannot hear any case that Wike has ever won before as a lawyer. You talk about Akpabio, I think he's a lawyer, so maybe those ones, I don't know. But anytime you see them in the political circle, just know that they have done something funny and fake with regards to their certificates. So you have a lot of them like that in a system that can't prove to you where they genuinely went to school and who their classmates are and how they graduated. Most of them graduated, they didn't do NYC. But ABC people is always against rule of law. They're against fairness, they're against transparency. That's what the party represents, so I'm not surprised. But even Tinubu himself, when he was still part of when he was living the fake of a pro-democracy activist, he was accused of treason. And people defended him at that time to say, look, if you're accused of treason, which is the same thing the soldiers are accused of, you should be given fair trial. Bwala was accused of treason. He was granted bail. It's one of the most popular cases we cite when we are asking for bail for accused persons. That the fact that you're accused of a capital offense does not make you automatically guilty. And anybody who has been accused of treason, if there is a treason case, you should allow them to prepare for trial. Under the military, everybody accused of treason was allowed to defend themselves. And you see them, they will show them, they allow their families to visit with them. So why should we be under democracy and people are accused of any offense for that matter? And we already presume that they are guilty because we are accused of it. So what happens to presumption of innocence? So I don't pay attention to all.
All right, so I'm sure you remember the removal of certificate forgery as a ground for filing election petitions in the newly amended Electoral Act 2026, which sparked widespread criticism from legal experts, political analysts, and key stakeholders who warned that the provision could weaken democracy. And so obviously, Section 138, subsection 1 of the Act states that an election may only be questioned on the grounds that the election was invalid due to corrupt practices or non-compliance with the provisions of the Act, or that the respondent was not duly elected by a majority of lawful votes cast. And, the journalist asked him questions on that. That's when he responded about the president's certificate and all of that. Then on the fact that our politicians, a lot of them either do not have certificates, or they lie about the certificates that they have or qualifications presented, that a lot of them are guilty about it. So he's not surprised that the Electoral Act is having to create a form of immunity or shield them from that. Then the coup plotters. So they protested recently where they were like they should be given access to see their family members and legal representation, that they're supposed to have access to lawyers, where he quoted Tinubu himself, who was accused of treason, as well as Bwala, during the military era. He was given due representation. Family members were allowed to visit him. So, Mr. Elvis, before I come to you, Mr. Lawa, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I told you last week that those things that they suffer in 2022, 2023, they have tactically removed them because we are going into an election year again.
Okay.
And they don't want people to make noise with it any longer, to embarrass the president any longer with it. So that's why those certificates forgery and others were removed. We also saw this.
So meaning that opposition cannot bring it up during the election petition.
It's immaterial. Even if they bring it up, it's immaterial. It's only you and I that will reason it and say, I will not go and cast my vote for somebody I don't actually know much about his background. Okay. You understand? But for you to make case with it, it's immaterial any longer.
Okay.
But now, we also saw now that the suspected coup plotters, we have been told that day that they have finished their investigation. But I don't know. That's over 3 weeks now that we heard about that. The investigation concluded. Why are they being delayed in arraign, other military tribunal or in court, whatever? It's necessary because I remember even when Oladipo Dia and the rest were accused of planning the coup against the government treason. Of Abacha. We saw when they appeared in court and it was made public. It was on air. Everybody could see then the way they were looking very pale. After all the number of months they were also detained. They were looking pale, and Fadigbe, we could see Fadigbe then, who all of them were looking pale, and even Oladipo Dia. Why is this one? We heard that they keep pushing them into the darker dungeon instead of them to release them and try before
and that they don't have legal representation. They're not giving them access to lawyers.
No, but I know military have lawyers. They will give them lawyers, maybe as American, but maybe they must definitely give them lawyers. But this delay is what we are not comfortable with.
So some of them that basically were not active in planning this, but somehow knew about it, they are also part of those that they have detained. So it means the same punitive measures on others will be enacted on them as well?
At this time, because until the judgment comes, because the prosecution comes and the trial and all that comes, before they will know the veracity of your involvement, and I begin to say, okay, this one should go for so sentences, and this one should go for whatever penalties. You understand? So I think that trial is what we are talking about now. It's overdue. This thing was muted since September last year, and we are in August now, over 6 months. We are in a March now, over 6 months.
Do you know my own headache about this coup plotting, whatever, is that what's the difference between somebody who didn't succeed and somebody who succeed in coup in Nigeria? Have you asked yourself that question? Babangida plan coup succeeded. Vasa plan coup didn't succeeded. He did not succeed, and then he was executed for planning coup. And the same person he planned coup against, who planned coup against somebody else, is the CEO. He became the president. Is that not it? Now, until now, we celebrate people who planned coup and succeeded in this country. Abacha was celebrated, and these same people who planned coup, what's the difference between those who planned coup and succeed and those who did not succeed? These are the questions we should be asking. Those people, is there a law in Nigeria that say, okay, if you plan coup and you succeed, therefore you are exonerated, but if you plan coup you did not succeed, you are going to face the law? Because I don't know the law they want to use for these people who plan coup and did not succeed.
True.
What about people who plan coup and succeeded and they are being celebrated in this country? These are my headache. Nigerians should have, because which law do we use now? The president, the duty of the president is not to sit down there and prove himself to be a demigod. He's supposed to be there and uphold the rule of law. And the rule of law, everybody plus the president is subjected to the rule of the country. Now we are saying different things. Now you are telling me that somebody, because you are the head, you can go away with certificate forgery, accusation or scandal, while somebody else, because he's not a president, he can be sent to jail for forgery. He can be prosecuted for forgery. Exactly what is going on in this country. What are we selling out to the young ones?
No.
Okay.
This certificate forgery matter is just to kill education.
Obviously.
It's just there to kill education.
I don't know which law we are
what's the
using.
essence of going to burn all the candles at night all in the name of getting a degree, and somebody can just go to Oluwole and buy and also do
and
the
the moment you
job.
become president, you are exonerated.
Why will you go and be burning paying all the exorbitant school fees to get a certificate when you can manufacture it?
So these children will stop going to school now. Why they will tell you why do I need to go to school?
The minister for
They will take it serious. They will just go and buy.
Mr. Elvis, when I was little, I didn't have a social life.
Yes, because you want
No, not because of me.
Because
it
you
was
want to go to school.
No, it was not even me. I didn't like school. I don't like mathematics. But my family, where I come from, they believe in education. My mom is a strong, staunch supporter of education. My dad, if you hear my dad speak, so when we were little, from primary school, there's a lesson after classes. We return home, there's lesson teacher. It got me tired because it was school, and there was this competition. I'm not lying to you. My mom's friends, families be like, which lesson teacher do you say you have? This is what they are doing. Oh, I want your own lesson teacher. Bring him. I went to a boarding school. After the stress of boarding school, I will return home during holidays and I will continue with lessons. It was like there was no rest. At the time, I didn't like it, but now I thank God for it. But trust me, it was education all through. So with what we're experiencing now, it was like that time is different from what we're seeing now.
The Electoral Act I just bungled that now.
Do you understand? Something that was it was meant to be seen as prestige.
Yes, it's no longer
gives you a certain class. I don't know how it was for your family. In my family, they don't joke. They don't joke with it at all.
In our time, if you gain admission, it's celebrated more than somebody that give birth. Now you get admission, you are going to campus. Now our own time. Do you know what it means? In your village, how many people go to higher institution? How many people pass WAEC? Then do not hear that person has gained admission. Do you know what it means? But today, matriculation gam was something else during our time. Matriculation. I'm not talking of convocation. Matric. That you get admission, man, you know what we used to do.
My own people were giving me money. Some people were giving me money in the street.
But look at where we are today.
I can't relate. I literally cannot relate. We had libraries. In my room, you must read. What are you talking about? My father would compel and ask you, how many books did you read today? It was a competition between I and my siblings. We had books. if you're packing out of the house now, almost half of the load is books. I can't. It's something else. I can't relate with it. But let's move on to another conversation concerning the situation of electricity. Apparently, Ikeja Electric has attributed the ongoing electricity supply disruptions across parts of Lagos to gas supply constraints affecting power generation on the national grid. In a public notice this month, the company apologized to customers for the persistent outages, explaining that the situation was beyond its immediate control and linked to reduced electricity generation nationwide. And they said that for now, they're relying heavily on gas-fired thermal plants connected to the Transmission Company of Nigeria managed national grid, and that when gas supply to these plants is disrupted or insufficient, power generation drops, forcing distribution companies to ration the limited electricity available through load shedding. And it's bad. In my area, I'm not done. In my area, 2 days to 3 days at a stretch, no light. When they bring the light, it doesn't last for 3 hours, and so we've been powering generator, and to make it worse, you see how much the price of fuel is. It's more, so you're even rationing how you use your generator. You have to pump water, you have to cool your freezers, and then the weather is extremely hot. However, let's take a listen to the Minister of Power in what he had to say about this. Oh, sorry.
Those here, those are two, all Nigerians, that they should have the trust in this administration. They should have the confidence in this administration. It only takes little time, little patience for them to start seeing the laudable plan that Mr. President Bwala Tinubu, DCFI, has for this sector. He says that he wants to use this sector to drive optimal performance in other sectors. And he's giving us the support. He's giving us the backing. So we want to enjoy people at home to give us that chance. Whatever we are doing.
So did you hear the Minister of Power? It's literally Nigerians, relax, the president is fixing it. And at the back end of that video, I saw Siemens. Remember, Siemens was Buhari's initiative. And surprisingly, we had good electricity during the tenure of late Muhammadu Buhari. So what happened? What changed?
Maybe and you've forgotten something. That the discos are declaring profit. Have you not thought about that? With this epilepsy power supply, they are declaring profit.
I want to understand.
Where are they getting the profit? Where do you get the money?
Elvis, no. Let's contextualize. According to Mr. Bwala, everything is all about context. Okay. So, Mr. Elvis, in Buhari's administration, I recall very well my former radio station where I was working in VI, Ajirin Galali did what you call a press tour. At the time, he was the spokesperson for the vice president, then Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and he was literally everything. I think Professor Yemi Osinbajo was in charge of that project somehow. So Ajirin Galali went across all the media platforms, educating and talking about the Siemens and the generators and whatever it is that they were using to remodel the electricity sector at the time, and he gave deep insights. We were having electricity then. At that time, Nigerians were even complaining about epileptic power supply, but it was way better than now. So what I want to ask is it that when the president took over, I thought it was government is continuing. I thought this administration would continue with whatever it was that, Buhari was doing, because the president told us that he's continuing from where Buhari stopped. So what changed?
Let's not forget that Abba Kyari died as a result of the contract he went to sign with Siemens in Germany.
But that was COVID.
He came with COVID,
yes,
and died. I mean, I'm trying to tell you the effort the other administration made. That was what led to his death. Then we were told. Then let's also not forget that Nigeria flare all their gases today instead of finding a way to recycle this gas. And is it not the gas that they are complaining about now? They were even told that we have more gas deposits in Nigeria than petrol. In this nation, but yet we are crying. We have Nigeria gas company that we are complaining today. Now we are complaining about gas not enough to power generate electricity for us. That's to tell you, over the years, what policy has the federal government actually put in place to actually salvage this electricity problem we have? One, they will tell you generation, no way; distribution, no way; transmission, no way. Now gas, no, it's not available too. What is the policy? All these contracts that were signed by various governments concerning this electricity issue, which one can we say that okay, has yielded like even 10, 15, 20%? Since we started talking about this electricity matter, since APC came in, because APC, when Buhari was coming in 2014, electricity was one of the things that Buhari said was also talking about that he was going to give Nigerians. And again, Tinubu again, when he was campaigning in 2022, 2023, said if he doesn't give us electricity in his first tenure, we should not vote for him. But here we are now. But I think God is playing back their track for them.
He has recently put up this thing called GAMCO. I think that was last week.
I'm saying that that one is it's all about transmission. It's not about generation, because they tell you Genco will tell you that they generate even up to like 15,000 megawatt or 20, but to send it to national grid, the distribution and transmission cannot carry it, because the almost every facilities in the national grid, and it's not strong enough to pick it. They are all collapsing. So that's the problem. So if you come in and know and you have been able to identify where the problem is, why is it that for 12 years now, or even almost going to 13 years of this administration that said they know the problem of Nigeria, they've not been able to solve it? Okay, they said the transmission was not unbundled. Government has still control it. All those areas that you see that there were infractions during the PDP era, one would have expected that you came in, let me find solution to this, because this is where the problem. Now money is coming in. Then the minister is now making statement, trying to absorb his government out of this, because he has, because we have not experienced collapse in this month of March, which I know maybe before the end of March it might happen. What is he telling Nigerians? In the month of
January, we had a grid collapse simultaneously back to back
twice. So now, what is he telling Nigerians? Is it because of the no? Tomorrow they will tell you Iran and America war is the problem. Problem we have concerning our electricity. It's very easy for them to push it somewhere. When we talk about food insecurity in this nation and scarcity, they said it was Russia, Ukraine that is causing it. We have so much to ask this government, but Esther, the issue is, how do you ask government questions, and even if they are not ready to answer, how do you not answer them back? Is it not supposed to read it through the ballot? Or because okay, since we cannot fix this for us and we have been clamoring for you cannot do it, we are waiting for you in the next election. But the next election, are you not seeing where it's already going towards now? Unfortunately, the next election is almost going to be becoming like a done deal. Except Nigerians sit and say we must get it right. INEC is not helping. The Electoral Act we started interpreting. These are the few ones we've just heard. More are going to come out, because the court will also remind us of some of them by the time this will get to court after the election or post-election cases that will come up. Court will unveil some of them that we don't know yet. Are we getting it right, or we are modeling up things to against Nigerians?
It's more than modeling. It's ruining. Yeah, because it's ruining. It keeps falling down.
It keeps falling.
We are not getting anywhere.
No progress.
We keep falling
down. When you are in
opposition,
you can detect the problem. But when you come into government, you cannot find solution.
See somebody like Daniel Bwala now. An opposition coming in and they begin to change your word and begin to tell us you need to say that you have to come to then what exactly is the meaning of opposition? Is it not for you to see the truth and speak it, so that when you get there you'll be able to do the right thing? The only thing they do when they are opposition, many of them, is because they want the other side to see them, that they can speak against them, so that they can bring them into their government and begin to allow them to share the national cake. That's what you see nowadays. So like I said, we are having issues of electricity, and the electricity companies are making profit. The question is it not from what you sell that you make profit? Is it not when you sell something you make profit? No, they are not selling, and they are declaring more profit. Then the question is, where are you getting the profit? Where are you getting? What do you say to Nigerians that you are getting this profit? You are declaring profit. Declare billions as profit.
Well, Mr. Elvis, there's a heavy protest which rocked Ibadan yesterday after police declared a bandit or a terrorist. I don't like calling them bandits, innocent, and released him overnight. But the media is calling it an insecurity protest. So on Saturday midnight, a bandit group seriously wounded a man after a failed kidnap operation in Jobele, Fijio, leaving him hospitalized till now in Ogbomoso. Following this, residents of Jobele took responsibility for their safety, taking turns in a vigil security patrol. Around 1 a.m. on Monday, they caught one of the bandits terrorist sneaking in the bushes with weapons. They detained him. By morning, they handed him over to Jobele Police Division in Afijio on March 9th. Later in the day, they heard rumors that the bandit or terrorist was no longer in police custody. The next morning, which was yesterday being Tuesday, everyone in the community stormed the police station demanding the suspect they checked in barely 24 hours ago. The police couldn't provide him and allegedly said they released him because they thought he was innocent. Both elders, youth and women blocked the roads in protest, causing massive gridlock on the Ibadan-Oyo-Ogbomoso highway, while others camped at the station demanding to know why and who ordered the release. The police couldn't provide a reasonable explanation even till now. However, the protest subsided when the inspector responsible was detained, and the Oyo Police Commissioner assured the community that they would investigate the incident. The group kidnapped 7 people just recently and have been terrorizing communities in Afijio, Oyo for months. So, is it obvious that our security operatives are involved in this? How do you present somebody? So if there was a mob attack on that person, is that what the police would have preferred?
Like the one that happened in Edo. Yes. Look at the way they painted it, they are hunters, and then they arrested the people, and then they dealt with them. Now look at something like
this one
now.
that is leading to those jungle justice. When you get to the appropriate authority that you are supposed to at least have that confidence in, so okay, this is what. Look at even the effort the vigilante has made. They were able to do this.
People risk their lives.
Then risk their life.
That police was supposed to do
and
to patrol
at night.
And they did it. Presented the person to you. You released the person on what grounds? That means you are also. You are culpable.
The new IG, he has so much. He has so much because we cannot begin to recycle some of these infractions. You know, even when we say okay, there is a regime change. There's a regime change in police now. Let us see whether the new IG will be able to look.
But this is not the first time. There are complaints that this is recurrent.
It's recurrent.
In fact, in Edo State, when that Uromi killing happened, that was what made the people take laws into their hands. They said they've been having this issue that sometimes they even see these kidnappers in the markets. Those who were either raped by them or whatever, they see them in the market, point out at them, and there's nothing anybody can do. So this time around, they took matters into their hands. Unfortunately, what happened. So why do you present culprits to the police and they release them? That's my question.
Because the system,
you don't investigate. Okay, let's just say you want to go through the process. You investigate. You ask them to bring. Why release them? Who asked you to release them?
The process has been so bastardized that everybody come in and do their own and get away with it. If the DPO of that police station is reprimanded, things of this nature will not repeat itself, because you are just talking about the inspector that was in charge. Somebody is here heading that inspector. Don't just pick out the inspector. The DPO himself where the terrorist was brought. I mean, the box of the responsibility of that police station stop at the table of that DPO. So he cannot exonerate himself. In fact, the area commander of that unit by now should have been calling on that DPO. And every other person that is in line with this matter,
on duty that day,
align them up.
On duty that day.
Align them up, you know, for proper questioning and even prosecution where necessary. Because the effort of these villagers now has just been thwarted.
Just wasted it.
And with all the risk.
Retaliate against them.
They're going to organize a reprisal attack. Against them.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Defense is telling us that the terrorists are sustaining heavier losses. That all of this that is happening is because, they've been defeated. They just want to prove that they're not defeated. I mean, we lost about four colonels in the space of 1 week.
I mean, I think the Minister of Defense should not be speaking like politician now. He has just gotten into that position. It's not. And Nigerians welcome him in because we think he can give Nigerians the desired change. he must not be talking like politician, because this was exactly like Mohammed told Nigeria that Boko Haram have been decimated. Today, look at like Mohammed state now, Kwara state. What is happening in Kwara state? If it's the administration itself for 8 years actually decimated insecurity, we won't have had it badly as we have it now.
We may have had some casualties, but that the terrorists are receiving a bigger hit.
No.
Some casualties where you had 40-something soldiers.
Look at the Monguno video. Look at the Kwara and every.
Did you see the latest one where they attacked 4 military bases?
Yes, now.
Did you see how they did?
They used
night vision.
Yes.
They used night vision. They came in the night.
Is there.
They used night vision to do what they did.
They even said they were calling that they are coming. They need reinforcement. Air Force could not be sent. Those bases, how many military men are in a base? And these people come in hundreds, 200.
And that even when the Air Force came, they went to go and bomb the mountain where the civilians and some of the soldiers ran to. One of the soldiers was giving a report of the incidents. He said that they did not even bomb where the terrorists were.
No,
night vision.
Christopher Musa should not be talking like politician, because he has just dropped the khaki. We expect him to still talk.
I need to tell you something.
Yes, tell me something.
It's clear. We have been saying this, that the government is culprit in this thing. Let us face it. If you are going to die, you are going to die. We are already dying. We are not safe. So let us speak the truth to ourselves. The government has a lot to answer, because this thing is telling us that the terrorists have been decimated. It's not different from what it was before he came in. We have not seen any changes at all. And since we've been having these changes of these security chiefs, it's still the same thing that we see. It's even getting worse.
Yeah.
It's getting worse. When America bombed Sokoto, people say we can do it ourselves. Yeah, we shouldn't go. Now, see what you are doing yourself.
We are a sovereign nation.
You are doing it. We are sovereign. What is sovereign about your nation?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll soon take calls. But before we do that, let's take this very short break and we'll be right back.
House dey dark and nepa bill dey choke. E dey worry you as e dey affect your business. So much on don call. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fight don block, business no get wahala, everything dey okay. No be dream o. With Yohaku, na you dey control your light. Yohaku dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and dem go furnish you with modern kitchen o. Whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, abi for industrial work, Yohaku stand chim to help you. Bye to nepa bill o. No wait till transformer go spoil again o. Oya run call Yohaku for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we dey for shop F1179 Industrial Section, Ojo Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, Headline, Ute Obochi Plaza, Abuja office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karu District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we dey for number 51, Oporo Road, Eziowa Elite Trade Center, for Rivers State. Yohaku website na www.yohakuproducts.com. Online store na www.yohakustore.com. Yohaku, from sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey cool.
This is still the evening rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wanchiku. My analyst today, Mr. Elvis Elimihele, Mr. Lawal Ekundaya. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Back in the studio. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you have Mr. Mba from Elasan.
Mr. Mba, welcome.
Yeah, welcome, my sister. Yeah, I want to talk about trade fair. Esther, you read it in the news that traders block the road to protest. Now, Esther, you remember when Lagos state government went to the trade fair to demolish all the property that the people have in the market. And Esther Nwachukwu, you know the tribe who owns those properties and who are the business people over there. They came in under way that is under the grading line, right? Under the water line. Now they have came again in order to take the market, right? Esther Nwachukwu, you will discover that trade fair was empty, was a bush for jackets for years, for jackets. And yeah, those tribes came there, made that bush to become something else. And now they have shown that the market or the place have become another thing, have triumphed. Now, the Lagos state government are now coming in because anywhere that people went, the tribe came there to make bush to become a habitat place. You will see them swim in.
Well, but
saw it.
Today's shutdown is all the stores, okay? All the stores were
all
shut
the
down.
stores, which means the traders now.
Federal government property, so things need to be done through the right channel. That's why they block.
Good, but my own point is this.
Hold on, sir. The Minister of Trade and Investment visited today and called for calm and said proper negotiation is ongoing. So I didn't talk about it this evening. I want them to be done with whatever meeting they have because I called. They have their meeting. So by tomorrow, we'll be able to interview one of them.
Okay, Esther, Mr. Mba is full Igbo man. I want to take you back the years, the jacket that this trade fair was empty, was bush. Before now those people came there is no evidence or there is no presence of Lagos state government over there. Now, those tribes have now rehabilitated the place. And now you are seeing the faces of the Lagos state government. The other day they came with bulldozer. Now they came in order to have space in that market. But they don't even know that this market belongs to the federal government. An agreement with those traders. Then apart, let me talk about the Obi Kubana. You see, I'm not worried about him. Everybody wants to took hand in Kukuja to collect his own share. But my promise to him, they will use him and adopt him. Look at what is going to LFI today. That will be example to Obi Kubana. That he will bring his leg and they will cut it at the end when the life will be switching to him. Because they know the tribe where Obi Kubana came. Look at what happened to Frank Mba. They have served the years, remaining some years to go. Now they took their own brother who will retire under 1 month in order to supersede a man who have served for years and did very well. Let him be example to them. Those people that come from this region, that claim one Nigeria is for them, and they will serve them and they will go with shame, and they will still believe what Nnamdi Kanu is telling them. That all Nnamdi Kanu is telling them will come to pass in their life, and they will go home with shame.
All right, thank you very much. So, Mr. Elvis, I don't know if you listened to what Obi Kubana said. Nobody has issues. If you choose the administration, you are free to support whoever it is you want to support. But he made a statement that people are not knowledgeable, that we should no longer run divisive politics, and that supporting Tinubu means putting the Southeast in the mainstream for industrialization and development. So he said, this is what he says. He said, if we are all in opposition to this government, eventually we won't be remembered. That's what he said. He says we stand on Bwala Tinubu's mandate that the City Boy movement is about the progress of Igbo land. So where people are having issues with him is how he's speaking on behalf of the entire Southeast. If you support the president and his City Boy movement, go ahead, do your thing. But that they should not put everyone into it. And how come because you are not supporting this administration, then you're running divisive politics? Because the Igbos are saying we supported Obasanjo. All right, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, if he had even run in this 2023 elections, that Peter Obi may not even have gotten the kind of support that he got, because they may have actually gone for Professor Yemi Oshibajo and a couple of others that they're not from their own ethnic extraction that they supported. So why is it that this time around they're now being plagued because they did not overwhelmingly support Tinubu?
I think it's because we have this narrative of ethnicity matter into our Nigeria politics. That's what we bring into it. And it's not supposed to be that I'm from Edo, I can decide to belong to any political party and support anybody. But a situation where we now begin to align it that, I'm in that party because the party is the ruling party and I want to use it to attract a development of my area, is null and void. As soon as the president wins, he's the father of the nation. It's not supposed to be talking about politicking any longer. Yeah. Because there are some certain things that were from the southeast that the nation needs so much. There are certain things in the southwest the nation needs so much, just like the same thing in the north. So it's supposed to be like a uniformity that in the development structure of the nation. But it's situation where people are now painting it that I have to belong to. What do they call center? Exactly. This is the biggest language the politicians should take out of their mouth, because
that's Nigeria's politics for you.
We are no longer talking about.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine. This is your old caller, Evangelist.
Evangelist, what happened to you? You don't take.
I do fine. Just I know say una line don't blow, so people have make it already. God has blessed you people. But I'm also observing. I'm just observing, listening to you people program.
Okay.
I'm enjoying your program. The truth is that what one of your guests said, the government have hand in this. They know what is going on, and they don't want to do something because of the 2027, because they don't want issues that will make them to not to return back to 2027. You understand? But the only thing I will say is that some of this Nigeria government, they have to be very careful. They should not allow the devil to make use of them as the antichrist to kill humanity, to destroy humanity. Look at people are dying. Look at Bwala. Look at how your life so are perishing. Is it good? Because of why? Because of vanity of life. Forget all these things they are pursuing. Where are vanity of life? If you go to Luke 16 verse 19, you will see the rich man in the Bible. What happened to the rich man in the Bible? How he was oppressing Lazarus. Forget that one day he will lose his life. So he lose his salvation because why? He thought that acquiring wealth, making himself rich, doing this and that, forget that one day he will pay for it. So what I'm trying to say is that Nigeria government have to be very careful, because it is no good because of why? Because of power, because of 2027. People are dying, people are suffering, you don't care. Right. Look at what is happening now. You see what is happening in Iran now. Please let be careful. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
My name is Robert. I'm calling you from Apapa. I greet your guests. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Yes. Esther, September 2023. Tinubu withdraw over 100 ambassadors from their respective position with the hope that as he became the president, he will replace them immediately. But the answer was not like that. He spent almost 3 years before they were sent there. And is it not funny that we don't know the policies of some countries that we are sending ambassadors to? Look at the insult India gave to us, that you said you appoint an ambassador, you send it abroad, and they reject that person. I tell you, it is against their policy. Is it not funny? Why the delay? This is how Buhari spent almost a year appointing ministers. At times, if we want to disgrace ourselves, let's disgrace ourselves here, not in the international community. It is wrong. This is Insecurity you mentioned about that bandit was released. I think Bwala have said it that whenever he wanted to go to those guys, he always move around with some government officials. Yeah, but everybody is afraid of his life. If police, I'm using the word maybe now, they allow people to lose that terrorist now, they may come for the police maybe another time. That is why they say maybe they want to release him. That is the situation we find ourselves. I pray God to heal this country, and then we heal this nation in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you, Robert, for calling. Amen. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
My name is Godfrey. I'm calling from the letter.
Welcome, sir.
All right. My take on your program this evening. I have listened to a lot of your guests, what they have been saying. All they are saying is to government know about the insecurity. And there's a young man that called in that I think it was the program. There's a vital question that young man asked. He said, when Shetima was a governor of
Borno State,
that he was accused of sponsor of Boko Haram. So that why that do you think that it's a mistake for Tinubu to choose him as a vice president in the movement? That we all know the truth. You understand me? So whatever that is happening in terms of security, insecurity in this country, our federal government know about it. They know. You understand me? That is why our President Tinubu is not doing anything about it. He is not saying anything about it. And their target is to clean up the Christian girl. You remember when our President Bwala, his blessed memory, when he was our president, in IGP camp, there was a rocket sending a bomb into IGP and kill many people. And the pilot said it was a mistake, if you remember. All these things are they are targeting our justice. So, coming to Ampere.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good evening.
Esther Wachuku.
Sir, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Welcome.
Ice walk. I'm good.
See also, we day here. I beg my people to make them give us 2 days off today.
Yeah, that test, yeah. Esther.
Yes.
Obi Kubana, they want to cash out from present government because there is no way Southeast is going to vote for this present government APC. I listened to Adibo and Tochukwu Hanson this morning, and they brought APGA national chairman, and the man was talking blah 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 blah. Let me tell that man, there is no way Southeast is going to vote for APC government because
don't generalize, Oga.
I know. Listen, there's no. If they ask this present government, what did you do to Southeast? Did you do anything to them? No, minister, nothing. It's only Dave Umahi. Is it the only person that we have in the Southeast? Esther. These people, they are just talking jamboree. It's jamboree they are talking. Esther. This present government, there's nothing. We are not seeing anything. That's how Buhari come and wasted the whole 8 years for Nigerians. And we keep silent. We have patience. This man has come. Esther, there's nothing good that is coming out on this government. Nigerians are suffering. If you go to hospital, you cannot afford to pay for hospital bill. Nothing. Esther, fuel is about 1,400, 1,350. Some filling station depend on the filling station that you go. Esther, is that how we are living our life during PDP time? PDP time, we are in heaven, but now we are in hellfire. Esther, how can we continue like this? If you want to rent a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartment, do you know how much you are going to spend? You are going to spend 3 million, 3.5 million, some places 4.5. I'm talking about not island, though. I'm talking of mainland. Esther, how can people afford this? Last time you are talking with Barrister Darlington, he said some people are sleeping under the bridge. Once they close from their normal business, they will go to under bridge and sleep. Esther, is that how human being used to live his life? Esther Wachuku. Bye bye. Good night.
Good night, Batex. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello?
Hello.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Alright, sir, can you turn down the volume of your radio? Hello?
Hello.
All right, turn down the volume of your radio. Call me back, okay? It's even affecting the signal. 0803692 9933. 0803692 Hello?
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. How are you? All right, go ahead, sir.
My guess is that, in order to pursue security, as far as the government, the new city, the new city is, beneficiary, number one, and even the village, number two. This beneficiary was an army before. He was an army before. So, what is different in the army, they now pursue from the army. So you see all this that is happening in this bandit, he's teaching them. He's not teaching them how to shoot, and even the army. That's why you see before they come, they have already know the language of the army, they have already know all the systems of the army. So immediately they come, even that one that happened last, when they have their coming, so they were speaking the language of army. So the army that they teach is their colleague. That's how they get those people up. All these army officers. That's how they kill those people. So without catching that military, all this insecurity officer, it will not stop. Military is the key man in that area of bandits. Thank you. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much for calling, okay? 0803692 9933. 0803692 The WhatsApp number is 0817 1756338. Hello? Hello? Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good evening.
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, can I speak on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I want to say something, sir.
Please, what's your name?
About this country, Nigeria. My name, I'm Sonny Brown.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Sonny Brown.
Your network, I didn't know. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Hey, good evening, how
you doing?
Hey, thank you. I greet you in Hey, make I note of my every email. No, sorry, sir.
How's this
because if I talk and I just stop off my tongue.
Okay.
Well done, everybody. I greet everybody. I greet Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir. People are doing a very great job.
Thank you.
You know that say that's your answer, They do the work of that answer when they answer the name because you're speaking for the speechless. You're speaking for the soul, you just represent that answer, Continue. Okay, so to my point, you see, Bwala, you see, he will explain, compare, you people, my sister. That blog will explain, what is he trying to tell us? That Nigerian leaders are like a dog playing the politics of a dog. That whenever they police, after the meeting, they will still go back to it from their village. That is what he's trying to say. Because a dog, whenever something is not good, he types his body, then he needs to put it out, and then after, for their own selfish interest, for their own selfish reasons, they will still go back to that thing that they have created, and then they will still be taking it. Not even within the past what they have said. And so, Bwala, my sister, I don't want to say this, but I know that this Bwala is not that same Bwala that is in the lion speak, because if you are that Bwala, you know what that lion will do. We go know when you know what that lion will do, maybe that same Bwala. And then lastly, my sister, you see, I noticed that in every this president and it is declaring war. It is declaring war and even Jonathan own is better than this one, and this one, where the own is now better than Tinubu own. And then I'm pretty sure that after this Tinubu has finished his own, maybe he will hand over to White Lion, Pelu. And then after, they will go hand to my brother, and then that one, presidential announcement will be after work is gone, because this protest in the line with the Tobago, this year, after work is gone, in presidential speech. Thank you very much, my sister. I'm still with you. I greet all the Nigerians.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for calling. Hello. Hello, good evening, sir. Thank you for waiting. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Emeka from Ogun State.
Emeka from Ogun State. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead. Hello?
It's impossible to capture any terrorists or whatever they call them.
Hello? Okay, Emeka, it's like you're having a call interrupt you. Hello, turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening to Mr. Kundayo and Mr. Ellis.
Good evening, sir. Thank you.
You are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
You are our current patron. None of you we know.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Well done. My name is Mary. I'm calling from Festac.
Mario, I don't miss you. How are you doing now?
I guess you are too much.
Thank you.
Very soon, we will CFR.
I
Not be CSMO. Not be CSMO. CSSS.
Oga, don't mock my governor. Don't mock my governor. Yeah. Oga, don't mock my governor.
When imposing on you.
You are happy with him, but don't mock our governor.
Okay, we are not coming out now. So, my take is on, let me start from Daniel Bwala. You see, most of these things happen just to prove that we have so many incompetent people at the corner of power. You see, when you listen to the man, I think they say he's a lawyer. You'll be wondering the kind of law school that he went. Because if I have that kind of person, I would disown him honestly at the election. Because look at how he has just messed himself up. From the day when he was working with Atiku, he never missed one. He was just talking anyhow, no reservation. Now he has forgotten all those things. Okay, now having gone to Nigeria to disgrace himself, instead of him to pass through, he's now exciting the thing again. So the wondering that what kind of, so he just boiled down to what he said, that when you join APC, that your brain will stop working. It's so shameful and disgraceful that these people are marketing the country outside the shores of this land, and people are laughing at us. So it's so shameful. I think that is what Mahmoud Yakubu sold to Nigerians. So let's continue with it. For this government, I don't see it's just for Nigerians to wake up and say about something. Like Bwala said, even if you give 300 years, you cannot do what you don't have. And the thing is getting worse every day. Like in this area now, in fact, over 2 weeks, I don't think we have had over 2 weeks, we have had like more than 30 minutes. Over 1 week now, no flashing. I can't do flash families, but now, over 2 weeks, no flashing at all. And people keep on throwing away food under this economic. People are pouring away everything. You want to buy fuel. At what rate will you buy fuel to power your? So it's so bad. It's so bad that this government there's nothing. There's nothing. There's not even one. Not even 1 over 100. Not even one aspect of like you said can do them. So take Nigerians because they are planning to leave themselves back. But Nigerians, if Nigerians say no, I can keep saying in our local parliament, when a community cooks for one man, the man will finish it. So when one man cooks for community, when community cooks for one man, the man, but when the man cooks for community, he cannot finish it. So I mean, it's so unfortunate. So
all right, thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello? Yeah, if I call by this.
Yeah. I think you got a call.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I said you got a call.
Okay, yeah, I'll call back now. Okay, what I was saying before.
Hello?
Or terrorists or whatever, this capture and being executing this nation. Let's say so. If I listen up, I'm about.
I thought I can say.
Is it?
He's calling on WhatsApp, yes, and it keeps getting interrupted. So I don't know what's the problem. All right, let me take some messages. Good evening. It's Ifeanyi from Mafoluku. Sister Esther, one Hausa Okada guy that carried me today was telling me that this country is finished, that Buhari killed Nigeria, then Tinubu buried it as well. This person says, good evening, Esther. There is death of technocrats and professionalism in administration of the current president. We can recall when President Tinubu's administration brought out names of Nigerians for national pardon last year, and Nigerians questioned such names, then went back and told Nigerians that such pardon would be reviewed. Can they review tremendously before publishing the names? How can some country reject Nigerian ambassadors to their various countries as a result of ridiculous actions of this government? I told Nigerians in 2014 when President Buhari won APC presidential primary that if APC becomes ruling party in the federal, they have nothing to offer Nigerians because their slogan change wasn't clarified. It is unfortunate. God bless Mr. Elvis and Mr. Lawal for educating the public. Correct from Bariga. All right, correct. Thank you for calling. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you. Okay, I think I've read this. Good evening, VOP. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. You have an APC government who is deceitful, full of waste and lack capacity. For more than the 10 wasted and unfruitful reign of this APC government, from Buhari to the current president, no refinery. The existing 4 refineries are not working. You have 210 trillion naira looted under this this administration. Well, it's not from this administration, no. It's from 2017, sir. 2017, Abi, to 2020. So that was during Buhari's administration. Yes, sir. So it's not under this tenure. Also, all the subsidy money removed from day one, PHCN tax, bank, Agbero taxes, and all borrowings. What is it used for? It's to loot and waste on luxurious lifestyle. All right, this is obviously Dio from Fagba. Am I right? Or Lekon from Lagos? Lekon from Lagos. All right, Lekon, well done. Good evening, Esther. Some of your callers are complaining about Obi Kubana, who supported the current administration. I believe it's mature to support any party he likes. Yeah. All of us can sleep face the same direction. Okay, I don't understand your last statement.
All of us cannot sleep
and face the same direction. Yes, very true. That's what I said. That's what you said. That's what I said actually. But again, I think the issue is he should not speak
for the whole people.
Yes.
Yeah, not for everybody. And then saying that technique align with the center. What center a party?
Exactly.
There should be no politicking in development.
Because as a president, you represent all the regions. It's your responsibility to implement development in all the region, not give jobs or development opportunities to the region that voted for you more. It doesn't make sense. What is the essence of federal character?
When they do budget, did they separate some people from some people when they do the budget? They place budget and say what so and so total number of Nigerians. When it comes to implementation, you'll be hearing these people didn't vote for me, these people have voted for me. Did you present that as budget?
No, their supporters they talk that thing. The rejection of those nominees is another clear indication that Tinubu's led regime has no knowledge on anything governance. They are only experts in playing dirty politics, has no business with administration and governance. Ororo from Ayobo. All right. Okay. Christopher Musa is now a civilian, and a civilian can be a politician. Remember, he was mentioned among those touted for vice president. Chief of Defense Staff should be the one to talk like a military man as regards insecurity. Okay, yes. Good evening, Mr. Obed Oji. Thank you so much for your message. The same question Nnamdi Kanu asked is what your guest is asking. Show me the law. It's a pity. Esther, please, that man that brings in ethnicity to the closing of the trade fair should mobilize his people to go and build market in their place, please. When Soludo demolished Onisha main market, why didn't they bring ethnicity into the narrative? It's only in other regions that they can bring ethnic narrative. Captain Deji. Well, no, I mean, you can understand that.
This is trade fair. Trade fair is a national property.
It's not just
Lagos State.
But I understand where he's coming from too. I remember when the trade fair issue happened, when I spoke with the person in charge of them, of the market in Onisha, I said, if your people in Lagos now complain that this is what they are doing, they just came and demolished shops with no notice. Lagos State government will even give you notice with no notice. And when they start complaining that, oh, it's because they are Igbos, how would you feel? That was the question I asked him that time. There was a court order for them not to make those demolitions. They claimed that they did not receive any court order. They also claimed that it is the local government and not the state government. Will the local government carry out such an activity without the permission of the state government? That's one. Two, you also claim that you gave them, it was not up to a month. It was not up to a month. They made the order February 2nd. And by the last Sunday of February, they were demolishing those areas. So nobody is saying that the government does not have their jurisdiction to do what they have to do, because people complain that that place is messed up, they enter into the road and all that stuff. But you can see the example that someone is citing. So if your state is doing that, why are you complaining? But then the essence of the trade fair situation, like I said, by tomorrow we'll be able to speak with them directly. And it's not just the Igbos that are in trade fair. There are also other ethnic groups that have their shops there. It's all the markets that shut down. So it's not just a section. And the Minister of Industry and Trade went there to calm the situation, told them to reopen the shops because it's a federal government property. So if there's no formal notice from the federal government, then what exactly is happening? So that's basically what we want to find out before we make any statement as regards to that. This is for clarification.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Why is it that when one section of the country is doing something and people call it out, then you refer to another section and say those people that are affected should go to their place?
I don't know why. It has been on like this since this administration.
I don't.
It's been on like that. It's crazy. If you want to protest, they say go and start from your state.
What do you mean by that?
Go and start from your state.
Have they not divided us already?
We are divided. Not that they not divided us. Mark my words, the activities of these notorious agberos will cause Chinedu from Badagry. It is well. It is very well. Good evening, Esther. Nigeria as a country with facts is a joke. Babangida planned coup against Buhari and succeeded, and the current government is celebrating him today. And this same country, according to government, planned coup and failed, and the same government wants to execute them. This same government is telling Nigerians that certificate forgery is not a crime, but if opposition is to decamp to another party or register with another after he had already registered with the political party, he may not wish to continue with that. It's a crime. Victor from Ilupeju, all right, well done. Very long message there. Good evening, Esther. Mr. Bwala is highly confused and seems disorganized at the moment. His family should advise him to stop gyrating from one radio station to another, looking for unnecessary damage control. President Tinubu should remove Bwala from his cabinet immediately. Noah from Ngondo. Noah, that interview was not on radio. It was on a live YouTube page of one of the former presenters of another radio station. Yeah, so it was not on radio. Okay, good evening, Better Picking. Esther, you and I know that consistent leadership can manifest in several ways, from communication and decision making to emotional intelligence, followed by accountability, e.g., building trust, foster a positive environment, and also driving success. Now, Esther knows most times you tend to do your work as a trained journalist, speak to back up this present government, giving most people a suspicious mind, think you're an APC woman. Take a good look around this country and all those qualities I mentioned. Can you beat your chest to stand by any other nepotism in slave? Oh God, what are you talking about now? Kingsley from Agbara, what are you talking about? Which one is supporting APC government? See, sometimes if I want talk now, and I go talk, say, the way one of the reason, they must me. Your reason, God. I just keep quiet. Please, okay, thank you very much. Good evening, Esther, Mr. Elvis. Remember, one of the music of the reggae artists, okay. All right, wow, calls are really coming in. All right, good evening, VOP. My name is No Big Man in Bus Stop. I wonder what OPC will use to campaign for Nigerians. See what Gumi is saying. See the electricity our president promised. Nothing is working, and some people are still supporting them. All right, good evening, Esther and gentlemen in the studio. APC, especially President Tinubu's government, are behaving as if they haven't been at the corridor of power, and I think because their eyes are only fixated on what they can grab, that's why they forgot what governance is. As for Daniel Bwala, he's on his own prophet who prophesied his future, and his brains have already stopped working like he predicted. From Chief Udo. AB says, AB, your message plenty. Oh, Esther, I like Jagabano, but this one when them do, I know Baduam at all. Why he no use the 4 years as president do distant crash course? No, I know Baduam at all. Jagaban don't do 419 for us. So anyway, he should be rewarded for championing the fight for democracy. The giver must be rewarded. Jagaban is the giver. Peter Obi is giving. But Obi started his philanthropy recently after he lost 2023 elections. I call that see me giving Greek gift. Wayo philanthropy. Peter Obi, they do us wayo philanthropy. You know, go walk 8 years for Anambra, nothing to show. You know, do anything. AB from AB. So I think a lot of you just decided to know Peter Obi or began to know about him in 2023. He's always done this. If you have been following him, you know, way back then, all this philanthropic and charity work, he's always done that. So a lot of you do not know him, so I understand you coming from this angle that him giving is politically incentivized, but there's no problem about that. AB, well done. Greetings. When you run party government, you end up with incompetent and embarrassing regime. APC has embarrassed Nigeria enough. It is in APC that dead citizens are listed for appointments. On Daniel Bwala, Nigeria is yet to draw distinction between outright lying, psychophancy, and politics. That's why almost nothing is working. Amici from Mafoluku. All right, good evening, Esther and the guest crew in the studio. Thanks for your good job. My name is John Amodu from Simawa, Ogun State. The government of Tinubu is full of error. Daniel Bwala has actually disappointed, and coming back to defend himself is like pouring salt to injury. In another radio station this morning, I heard Shewumi is saying that government knows all the terrorists and they have their data. Until now, they did not call him for questioning. Why are our politicians playing with innocent blood of Nigerians? Is it Shegumi or Sheigumi? Okay, Sheigumi. This evening, I also heard the Air Force will help to facilitate 2027 elections. But it's shocking that they can't facilitate the fight against terrorists. What a country. Ladies and gentlemen, the evening rush continues. So kindly stay with us. We're taking a very short break.